This week on Pure Brews America, we make our way to the Upper Peninsula, where I sample the finest Upper Hand Brewery has to offer. Then I visit Wolverine State Brewing Company, the only all-lager brewery in Michigan. Finally, we take a trip down to Cincinnati's Rhinegeist Brewery to find out the truth behind some of the city's best beer. I'm Shannon Long, founder of Brew Export, and I want to welcome you to Pure Brews America. Join me as I travel across Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois on a journey to discover the amazing stories, people, and places that make up the craft beer industry's greatest breweries. Pure Brews America has finally made it to Michigan's Upper Peninsula, and today we're taking you behind the scenes of Upper Hand Brewery in Escanaba.
I had a friend of mine said, you got to stop here. This is way out of our way, but we had to come down and check it out.
I come here, I see people I know, it's a small town, and they're people that don't normally like to go to a sleazy bar. This is kind of a cool place. They'll bring their friends, their family when they're in town, so it's a good scene. I like it.
It's nice. Boy, it's really nice.
By far, probably the nicest brew we've been in.
I love it. The atmosphere is incredible.
We do this to tell us where we're at in the Lower Peninsula. I'm from Traverse City. Bell's is in Kalamazoo. There's another hand there as well.
And that other hand was the inspiration for Larry Bell to open Upper Hand, which is the sister brewery to Bell's, one of the largest and most successful craft brewers in the country.
Larry has told me that he's wanted to open up a brewery in the UP pretty much since the beginning of Bell's. So let's just say like the early 90s. He likes to spend as much time up here as possible. Names Two Hearted after the Two Hearted River, which many of us know about as Bell's fans. It blows me away how often people from the Lower Peninsula say, I've never been to the Upper Peninsula. I've never been to the UP.
Upper Hand's line of beers are available exclusively in the UP and northern Wisconsin.
Upper Hand is distributed where people talk funny. That's straight from Larry's. There are innumerable benefits of having the beer be only available up here within Michigan. That people are going to come up here, they're going to spend their money here, they're going to see what the UP has to offer, and they're going to want to come back.
Larry's vision for Upper Hand is very hands-on and includes the look and the feel of the tap room itself. There wasn't always a tap room in here. This was a later addition, is that correct?
Correct. I actually opened this May of 2016. It was kind of just a conference room. There was a couple tables in here, and Larry dropped off furniture and a bar, and he kind of gave me the reins to pretty much do whatever I wanted in here, so.
Awesome. Well, it definitely does not look like a conference room anymore.
He was actually going for fancy deer camp, so.
Nailed it. That's perfect.
I feel like he crushed it.
So, time to drink some of your beer. First up, Upper Hand Lager.
Upper Hand Lager.
This BV is crystal clear and beautiful.
The lager had a lot of great flavor. It wasn't very heavy like some lagers are. Easy on the tongue.
This is like a fishing beer. Light, simple, really good.
This is a great beer for literally any human being on this planet that likes drinking beer. Like, no one is ever going to get upset about this beer. Is this your most popular beer, Uper?
In the tap room, yes.
100% most popular.
Yeah, the Uper, for sure.
The Uper Ale was phenomenal, very enjoyable.
The Uper is what I usually have in the fridge when everybody comes over. I love it. That's one of my favorites.
I've had it before in a bottle. I've never had it out of the tap. This is the first time I've had it right out of the tap, but it's excellent, excellent.
The Uper is really nice. They use a Citra hop, and the Citra creates this nice fruity texture on your tongue, and it is very refreshing in the summer. So I do drink a lot of Uper.
That's delicious. 4%?
4%.
Gosh, you can drink this forever on the boat, camping, all day long.
In the UP, I think if you're not drinking over 6 beers in a sitting, you're not really drinking, right?
Okay, next up we've got UPA, which stands for
Upper Peninsula Ale.
Awesome.
So UPA was sort of our first beer, probably the first beer that we came up with that we really wanted to brew up here.
I bet a lot of people get that confused thinking it's an IPA, right? But
Yes.
It's actually a pale ale?
Yep, they also call it UPA. which is kind of confusing when you order 2 Yoopers and a Yupa. I don't know what that means, but
2 Yoopers and a Yupa?
Yeah.
What is this dark beer?
It is the Escanaba Black beer.
I called it Escanaba Black Bear.
Yes, everybody calls it.
It's not.
No, Escanaba Black beer. It is our black ale. So I always tell people don't judge a beer by what it looks like, because
don't judge a beer by its color,
and you wouldn't necessarily know it's black.
I'm gonna taste it with my eyes closed. And it is really light and easy drinking.
The Escanaba Black Beer was very good for a porter, very light, but full of flavor.
It's like drinking a sandwich. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I like it, man, the taste. And
It's a very nice, light flavor, and it's kind of a favorite up in the UP to have a beer like this.
Cheers to Escanaba. Cheers. Thanks for letting me drink beers with you.
Anytime.
For the last stop on my visit, I spent some time with lead brewer, Evan Garrett. So I hear there was a little bit of a situation last year at a backyard party, and now we're brewing a beer in honor of it. What is this beer called?
So it's called State Bird in honor of the UP State Bird, the giant mosquitoes.
First annual Upper Hand Barbecue last July, and there were 1,000 people here.
We brewed a special beer for it that was hugely popular, and so we decided to release that in bottles. So that's Laughing Fish, which is now our summer seasonal. Just all in all, had a ball, had a great time.
The party was only supposed to go to 10 o'clock, and this was like 10 to 10.
This swarm of mosquitoes came down. It was unbelievable, and I've been up here all my life, and this was historic.
People were running out of here. It looked like a scene out of Apocalypse Now.
So now we're brewing a beer in honor of those crazy mosquitoes that attacked you.
Yep. So what we're doing is a hoppy lager with tangerine peel in it. So we need to measure out the tangerine here, a ½ pound in each sock.
So these are going to be added into the boil?
Yep. So right at the end of the boil, we will
add our tangerine, and this is kind of like tea almost. So you put it in a tea bag, the heats up, and all the essence of these tangerines get into the beer?
Yep. So go ahead and put about 200 grams or so in there.
Oh. Close enough. So now we tie a little string on?
Yep, so I'm gonna be tying this off. So I'm gonna be dropping it in there, and I wanna kinda get it down through the entire knockout. So it's gonna stay there, and I'm gonna utilize it as much as I can.
How many of these are we gonna do?
We're gonna do this whole box here, so.
Oh, okay. Almost there. Nailed it. That dust smells good. All right. Looks like we're about ready to put these in the boil. Why do we need this?
So it's very hot liquid, and we're trying to avoid any splashing, kind of keep you protected and keep you safe. So.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. All right. We got glasses and a mask.
It kind of tightens down in the back there.
Oh, these? These are like the biggest gloves I've ever put on. They're like a superhero. Look at this thing. Woo! So these are all our tangerine.
Yep.
Just lower them down?
Drop them in, yep.
All right, have fun, tangerines. They're like floating. Can't wait to drink it. Thanks for letting me be an honorary Yooper today here at Upper Hand. Cheers! Cheers! Visit purebrewsamerica.com for more about our Emmy-winning show, including broadcast schedules and past episodes.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Versus. As you can see by our irrefutable science, Jack Link's has more protein and better music than these other snacks. Jack Link's Jerky beats the snack out of other snacks. Introducing Jack Link's Extra Tender Steak Strips.
Hey beer nerds, I'm Shannon Long, and today I'm visiting an all-lager brewery in Ann Arbor. We're checking out Wolverine State Brewing Company.
I think within the first year of home brewing, I had purchased a second refrigerator and already started making lagers, so it didn't take long. We're not the only brewery out there just making lager beers. We're the only brewery in Michigan just focusing on lager beers.
The attention to detail and quality that you put into craft beer applied to lagers with traditional and sometimes new fermentation techniques make for a combination that create a beer that's unequaled anywhere else.
Lager yeast likes to lay down and slowly do its work, and that's where you get the delicate intricacies of a lager.
Bottom fermentation versus top fermentation.
Correct, and that's really the easiest way to see a difference with lagers and ales.
The toughest thing is convincing people that it's not fizzy, yellow, overly carbed macro beer.
People come in and they think it's a lager brewery and think they're going to see 3 or 4 things up on the board, and they think if they do only see 3 or 4 things up on the board, they're going to be those traditional styles.
Craft lagers, I think it's an amazing concept, and I think more and more people are going to get turned on to it.
You won some awards.
We did.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Were you super happy?
Yeah, both were such a big shock. I mean, first was the bronze medal at the World Beer Cup, which is such an honor every 2 years worldwide. The Great American Beer Festival Gold, I mean, I think when I started brewing as a professional, I said if I could just win one of those awards, the rest is downhill.
Dude.
So you don't get hammy, you don't get bacon.
No. And you don't get like burnt bonfire. You get like a happy smoke.
Yeah.
If there's a happy smoke, this is what a happy smoke tastes like.
It's when you say smoke lager and people make that face and you go, just try it.
To have something like that, which is kind of a unique beer, have a gold medal from the World Beer Cup, that's pretty cool.
For the brewery to be awarded that, for me to personally feel that accomplishment, and then know that only sets the bar higher. Now it's time to really, really get down to business and make sure we're having fun, making beers we love, and continuing on with that quality of beer that people expect from us.
Thanks, Oliver. I had a great time trying all your award-winning lagers here at Wolverine State Brewing Company.
Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Pure Brews America is sponsored by Faygo, the original craft pop that's been made in Michigan for 110 years. Pick up a 2-liter or 6-pack today to create the perfect craft cocktail.
Lazy days and lazy nights, I'm sitting at the bar and everything's alright, just kicking back and taking my time, and I feel fine. All I need is some fresh brewed beer, some good live music's all I wanna hear. A nice thick stout or a cool pale ale.
When we started 20 years ago, the beer business was tough. So we played it safe and brewed the beers we thought people were expecting, which led us pretty much right to the edge of bankruptcy. So we figured we may as well start brewing beers that we liked. Bigger, bolder, aromatic, in-your-face beers. And luckily, it turned out a few other folks enjoyed those beers as well. So now, if it's brewed by us, it's really brewed for us. That's the secret. But you just told everybody.
At Meijer, we believe in the people who believe in themselves and bringing our customers the very best local craft beers from all over Michigan, like Founders, Bell's, and Shorts. Because things that come from nearby don't just taste better and fresher. They help keep our prices low and our communities thriving.
I'm Mike Stevens.
And I'm Dave Ingers.
Look for us.
And great beers from all over Michigan at your local Meijer.
Welcome back to Pure Brews America. Did you know there are over 100 different beer styles? This variety creates so many opportunities for awesome pairings with jerky from our friends over at Jack Link's. With so many options, where should you start? How about Jack Link's extra tender original beef steak strips? The tender, savory, and smoky steak perfectly matches the flavor intensity of a brown ale like Saugatuck Brewing's Bonfire Brown. You could also substitute that with Mountain Town Hobo, Bel Air Brown from Shorts, or Dark Horse's Bafau Brown. So visit your local Meijer store today and stock up on Jack Link's and your favorite craft beer. This perfect pairing will help feed your wild side. More than 20 years ago, Meijer sold their very first craft beer. Today, they've expanded their selection to hundreds of craft beers, creating the expansive array that is the Beer Frontier. The Beer Frontier is your in-store and online home for discovering and exploring the best breweries and beers. Not always sure what beer to select? Visit the Beer Frontier for expert recommendations to fit the season. Each pick has detailed descriptions to ensure you're getting the perfect beer to quench your thirst.
I mean, Meijer's a massively influential, successful, and respectable Michigan-based business, like a lot of the beers they carry from Michigan, and like Bell's and like Upper Hand. It's a good fit that they reached out to us right away to have our beer prominently featured for Upers and people visiting the UP to buy in their UP stores. Meijer's been an awesome partner with Bell's, and I expect that they're going to continue to be with Upper Hand.
Meijer's been really aggressively embraced craft. I think their Michigan roots helped with that. They saw one of the foremost craft markets explode with some of the early pioneers of craft, and they've been in their Ohio stores with that Michigan focus, really growing the craft set, and reached out to us on a very early in our trajectory to make sure that we were part of the set, and they've been really great to work with as a partner. As we come out with innovation, they're the first to embrace it and put it on an end cap, get it in front of customers. They've been able to use what they've learned in Michigan for success here in Ohio, and we've seen a great relationship blossom.
Join us in exploring Meijer's shelves and celebrating over 20 years of commitment to craft by checking out the Beer Frontier.
Hey, I'm Chris.
And I'm Gary. We're from Hopcat.
And today we're going to make beer bar cheese. Start off, we're going to be using some cream cheese that we left out for about an hour just to let it get soft and warm. Then we're going to mix in our horseradish.
What kind of cheese we got here?
We're going to start off with blue cheese.
Ooh.
All right, next we're going to add our ground mustard. Got a little half and half here, in Worcestershire. Lastly, we're going to add in our roasted garlic.
Ooh.
Going to use some Founder's Porter for this one. All right, so we're going to mix this real quick. We want to make sure it's nice and smooth before we put the rest of our cheese in.
So about how long on the mixer?
That'll be about 5 minutes. All right, Gary, I think we're done now.
What?
I think we're done now.
I can't hear you.
We're done. All right, next we're going to add in our mixed cheese here.
Is this just a mix of cheddar, Colby Jack, little mozzarella, right on. I'll let Chris get this thing mixed up.
All right, Gary, looks like the beer cheese is ready to go.
Cheers.
And that's how you make beer cheese.
Now it's time for the latest scoop from Hopcat. There's a world of beer to try at Hopcat, and decisions are hard. That's why they train their servers and bartenders to help you find the beer that's right for you. Tell them what you like or what you're in the mood for, and they'll find a beer or cider that you'll love. Find out more information at hopcat.com. When Pure Brews returns, the brewers at Rhinegeist show us how they're helping to bring Cincinnati's craft beer scene back to life. Vlasic Pickles is a proud partner of Pure Brews America and the craft beer industry. Don't forget to pick up a jar of Vlasic Pickles to enjoy with your next craft beverage or Bloody Mary.
At Planters, we're all about great taste, and we thoroughly test all our nuts for superior craveability. Hey, Richard, check out this fresh roasted flavor. Looks delicious, huh?
Yeah.
Richard, try to control yourself.
I can't help it.
And how about that aroma?
Love that aroma.
Craveability approved.
Oh, can I have some now?
Sure. Help yourself.
Wait, what?
Irresistibly Planters.
We don't frost brew our beer, and hot chicks won't appear if you drink it. Our beer doesn't come in a bow tie shaped can or need color indicators to tell you it's cold. It won't be delivered by Clydesdale horses, and to tell you the truth, we aren't the most interesting people in the world. Fact of the matter is, we don't tell stories. We just let our beer do the talking.
Back in the early 2000s, Janice would have dropped off all 4 of her kids at soccer practice after a sit-down dinner. But Janice is a mother today, so all 4 of Janice's kids are on 4 separate paths of self-discovery, which occur at 4 different times in the afternoon, leaving a total of 4 minutes for her kids to eat. Even though dinner time has become less strict, we remain strict as ever when it comes to our standards. Made with premium cuts of 100% kosher beef, so you can feel good feeding your family no matter what time dinner is. Hebrew National, we remain strict.
Hey, it's Shannon Long, and today we are all the way down in Cincinnati, Ohio, drinking beers at Rhinegeist Brewery.
I love Rhinegeist, absolutely.
It's just a great atmosphere. They make awesome beers.
If you don't find something that you like at Rhinegeist, you're doing it wrong.
I do love Rhinegeist. I'm actually from Cleveland. I drove down today. This is my first time here. It's awesome.
In the short amount of time they've been in this city, just a handful of years, they've really made an impact. They're in every bar.
I love the fact that they're one of the first breweries in Cincinnati to really hit it big, and really it made a big name for all of Cincinnati.
Yeah, being a Cincinnati native, it's just anything that's Cincy proud is really awesome to be part of.
During the weekends though, like definitely pops off in here. Like this place will be packed out, like wall to wall. Especially during the summertime, we'll have the rooftop open.
It's a great meetup spot. They have the games that keep us entertained.
And I have to say I'm addicted to ping pong, so this is my go-to place to go play.
We're really lucky, honestly, that they opened this up. Like it's a really great spot. A lot of people come here. We have a really good time.
Rhinegeist Brewing was started in 2013 by friends Brian Goulding and Bob Bonder, who recognized that Cincinnati was thirsty for local craft beer.
Well, Bob and I were consulting together 10 years ago now, doing marketing analytics work and hating our jobs. And he called me on my birthday and was like, yo, you got to move out here to Cincinnati, build a brewery.
Brian fell in love with the city and the idea of bringing the historic Over the Rhine Brewery District back to life with Rhinegeist, which translates to Ghost of the Rhine.
Well, when we were looking for a place to put the brewery, we know Rhinegeist was kind of the name that played off of the ghost of the history, the spirit of the Rhine, over the Rhine in this neighborhood where there were 40 plus breweries around Cincinnati before Prohibition. This building was a Christian Moorline bottling plant. It was built in 1895. It's 112,000 square feet. This feels like a cathedral, and it could be a cathedral for beer. I want to be in here. I've never been in a building like this that was a brewery a long time ago, died out, and we could step into it and bring it back to life. And watching people walk in that first door, they do this sort of, oh my God, I had no idea.
The next piece of the puzzle Rhinegeist needed to put in place was that of finding a head brewer. Enter Jim Matt, who formulates most of the recipes and prefers to be called the Chief Scientific Officer due to his commitment to quality control.
All right, Jim, we're in your lab.
Yes.
Where all the quality control is taking place.
Correct. Quality really is separated into 3 different aspects. It's microbiology, it's analytical chemistry, and it's sensory.
So Jim brought to the table in the early days his quality background. He was a chemist for 20 plus years and a home brewer, beer geek as well. So he's kind of a mad scientist, but his regimen in quality control has been really key.
You always have to really dive into a lot of things just to keep the quality level right. It's like it's cleaning and re-cleaning. The slightest little amount of bacteria in there could manifest itself and ruin a batch of beer. Quality is consistency, number 1. It pains me to say this, but I use like the gold standard of quality is Anheuser-Busch.
Consistent every time.
It's consistent every time. They will blend, they will throw batches down the drain, or they'll demote the Budweiser down to Busch if it's not in spec.
We now have 4 in our lab downstairs. We made a ton of investments there. And so now we've got a team that's almost as big as our brewing team in quality control.
The original expectation was to brew 7,000 barrels in 3 years, but they did almost 60,000 in 2016 alone.
The mash lauter ton here, this is an oversized one, is able to increase our production by about 30%, but the original one was a 20 barrel system. And
4 turns a day?
4 turns a day, mashing in by hand. We didn't have the nice little rakes that are spinning around in there.
A large part of their success is also due to the creative ways they have spread the word about the brewery.
I'm going to get killed for saying this, but we're not really a brewery here. We're a marketing company that brews the occasional beer. So marketing is very important here at Rhinegeist.
All right, Jim. Now it's time for a beer or two.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. This is Cougar. We hope that this is a great introductory beer, so it's a little bit higher in bitterness units, IBUs is what we call them, and it has a little bit more malt character than your typical yellow fizzy beer.
This beer is so bright. Everything about it is just bright and happy in my mouth right now. You can't cover something up with a hop or something like that. You've got to have it just on point, which I definitely think you do.
Thank you.
Cougar, it's a nice light summer beer, whereas the Panther is definitely my winter beer. I like a good porter.
Let's go with Panther next. We'll get a little contrasting color on that one. You'll notice it's not completely black.
So this is going to be a really true to style robust porter.
Yes, it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but it balances with the dark malt character, and you get a little bit of coffee and chocolate notes to it. Bitterness is low.
You nailed it again. This is such a great beer.
Next, we'll go with, let's go with Mosaic.
Ooh, I've been hearing all about this beer, and I'm pretty excited to try it. So this beer, I'm gonna guess, has exclusively Mosaic hops in it?
Correct. We do use a bittering hop on it, but you don't get any of the character of that bittering hop. It's called Bravo. It's a single hop that has such a broad spectrum of flavor to it that it's a beautiful beer.
This beer is so good.
I love this beer.
This beer is not messing around. It takes you, it's complex with one hop. Mosaic hop takes you through a journey with this beer.
Like a good story, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. They're all different.
Absolutely. One more beer for me to try, and it's your most popular.
It's 40% or more of our sales.
I'm drinking the Truth IPA. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
Rhinegeist Truth all day long. It's incredible. Never lets me down. Tried and true to it.
You got to go with Truth. It's like such a perfect IPA.
Rhinegeist Truth. One of the best IPAs in the city, up for awards. It's great. It's really great. They're doing a good job.
When we were getting started, the two words we settled on were hoppy and sessionable. We knew we wanted to brew deep West Coast, so we wanted to be innovative, have high quality beer that was world class, and play with hops.
I mean, they really got it down. I mean, IPAs, everyone loves their IPAs, but they really got it down. It's their staple, it's their most popular, and they crush it every batch.
It's got a little bit of malt character to it. It's
beautiful.
It's kind of golden. We use Centennial, Simcoe, Citra, and Amarillo hops on this one.
Medium bodied, not too thick. Good amount of bitterness, but not too over the top. It just like hits everything on the right level, like super clean finish, doesn't linger too long in your mouth.
The Citra will give high notes of mango and papaya, and they all kind of tie together.
I'm definitely getting a lot of the grapefruit and the mango. Mm-hmm. Well, cheers. Thanks for letting me try some of your beers.
You're welcome.
Brian, Jim, thanks so much for having me to Rhinegeist today. We had a great time. Cheers.
Cheers.